Mike Kennedy, this is Gulf Coast Plumeria in Dickinson.
Chào các bạn, mình đang ở cái vườn hoa sứ của ông Mike Kennedy ở Gulf Coast Plumerias đó các bạn. Mời các bạn cùng mình đi tham quan vườn sứ của ông Kennedy hôm nay nha các bạn nha.
Back in here are trees new plants that I'm growing out for new mother trees. Like a lot of people, I got hit by the freeze in 2020, and so I'm starting again. I have a lot of plants from Newey. I order big shipments from him every spring, and these are second and third year plants that I'm growing out.
Yeah. So đây là cái vườn hoa sứ của ông Mike Kennedy nha các bạn. Đây là những cái cây mà ông đã ươm và trồng ở nơi này để mà chiết ra để bán cho các bạn đó. Thì bây giờ mình đi mình tham quan nha. So, would you want to go around and introduce what you have?
Sure, we can just go down the rows.
Okay.
This is a Newey variety called Sweet Valentine.
Đây là một trong những cái cây hoa của ông Valentine, tên Valentine nha các bạn, Sweet Valentine.
Around here, you want to bring it around here to get this bloom. It's called Avatar.
Ah, beautiful purple. I love purple one.
Here's one that I really like from Newey. It's called Aurora Australis. Lots of bright oranges and golds. Oh, I believe this is, if I'm correct. Oh, this is a jungle jack. It's Napoli or Napoli. A lot of people like this one because it's a really strong bloomer. On this side is another Newey called Inferno Red. The petals are just shiny, it almost looks like plastic.
Yeah, it is. It does look like plastic. Wow. Deep red.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, deep red.
This one on this side is another jungle jack. It's one of the older jungle jacks that's a really good plant, good growth habit, great bloomer, called Desert Sunrise.
What about this one, Mike?
This one comes from Thailand. I got it from Newey. He did not hybridize it, but it's called Maya. It's one of many variegated varieties out on the market today. The thing about most of the variegateds, people buy them for the foliage. The blooms themselves, I've never seen a variegated bloom that just made me go wow.
So basically this is very rare to get around?
No, it's not rare. There's more and more around every day, and you'll see 5 or 6 different variegated varieties.
But here. We're just enjoying the leaves because of the color, but rarely bloom.
Well, when they do bloom, the blooms are not exciting like some of these
the rest
we've already
of it.
looked at.
Yeah, maybe small and just one color or something like that.
Yeah,
so
pinks,
basically we just enjoy the leaves.
Pinks, basic yellows. This is actually a seedling of mine. Tim Sandifer started it. He named it Choco's Child. It's a seedling of Choco Delight. This is a Jim Little variety called Hawaiian Coral. Great big flower, good bloomer. Like a lot of the JL plants, it is a tall grower. This is one of the old classics, but never neglect the classics. There's some great ones out there. This is called Irma Bryant.
Do you sell these or you don't?
These are not for sale.
Oh, okay.
Most of what I sell are going to be the smaller plants up there.
So these are your collection, basically?
Correct. This one is from Newey. It's called Heartache. And this year, for some reason, we are seeing, both myself and a lot of the growers that I talk to, we're seeing exceptionally small flowers. I don't know if that's a function of coming off the freeze or what it is, but...
So this is the first year to bloom?
No, this is the second year for it to bloom.
But it's smaller this year?
This one is smaller this year. I've got another one back here that is normal size.
Oh.
So I don't know all the reasons behind that.
Okay.
This is another one from Thailand. This is called SK Ariga. It's from a grower named Supakit. Got a real nice white stripe.
You know, this year we have freeze and we have the heat. So both
Yes.
of those could change the color of the plumerias.
It changes the color, changes the bloom size.
Yeah.
It had lots of effects on them. Done. That is Teresa Wilder. This is one from Newey. This is one of his older varieties. Big, big flower.
They're big, real big.
It's called Candy Pink.
Candy pink.
Here we have another Newey variety, Alexandria.
These are round petals, huh?
Yes.
Round and pink. And
This is a real nice purple from Newey. A lot of the purples from Newey are very expensive. This is one of his older ones that is a real good performer. It's called Purple Aromatic Rose, and it's affordable.
What do you mean affordable? You just say expensive. So how expensive this would be?
A 1 gallon in that size would be about $75.
Do you have it right now?
I will have more next spring.
Next spring.
This is a really nice Jungle Jack variety. I got this from a lady named Laura Dersnowski. It's called Calypso.
Mm. Yeah, I met Laura already. She's
Yes.
a very nice lady.
Very,
she has a
very
lot
nice
of
lady.
special plumeria trees.
Let's see who we got here. I think I know. Yeah. This is called Thai Lurleen. This is actually a safety cutting from my tree in my yard at home that I took before the freeze. This is another Jungle Jack variety, and I'll show you a big tree over there, but this is Mystique.
Mistake. Ooh, look at this purple one.
This is one of Newey's really high-end varieties. It's called Nefertiti. Very unusual bloom. This one is another Thai variety. It's called Purple Princess. I believe that's it on this row. This is a really old variety from Thailand. It's called Thai Orange. This variety is from Australia. It's called George Brown, also called Musk Rainbow. Very popular, very unique blooms.
Beautiful. They tints the colors from
Yes.
the sun. Yeah.
You know, it goes everywhere from the lavender to this deep, rich color. This is another one that came out of my yard. This is a Jungle Jack variety named Tangerine Dreams.
Tangerine dream. I never heard of that.
This is one that from Newey that I really, really like. The blooms are relatively small, but there's so much color and so much going on with those blooms. It's called
Yeah.
Hitchy's Flame.
And the petal is curved.
Yes, it does. Pagoda Petals,
Oh. This is called the Pagoda Petals.
where they
Right here.
where they get pointed there and they start to roll.
Yeah. Because we have flower that are curved down and
Right.
flower that have like this shapes, which is called Pagoda Petals.
Yes. This one's about finished blooming, and you can see we've got a seed pod there, which I'm really excited about.
Is this the first seed pod?
This first seed pod for this one. This
Wow.
is another Newey. That's a really good bloomer. It's called Dusky Dwarf. And you can see the rich color in there.
Wow, I'm excited for the seed pod too.
Oh yes.
There's going to be a lot of, but usually people say that when you use the seed pods and grow them, the baby tree, they don't come out the color like the mother tree.
Well, yeah, because you've got different genetics there. Plumeria
Okay.
can revert back up to 7 generations.
Okay.
And so even if this was self-pollinated, you've got all kinds of generations of plants that are mixed in there. And if it's cross-pollinated, you just multiply that exponentially.
So even if I buy a seedling from this tree, it's not going to guarantee it come out this color.
No, it's like a couple having a child. That child genetically and
Going to
physically
be like red
is different from
from
both
the
mother
mother and the
father.
father. Yes.
Because there are different genetics there.
So the only to get the exact color of this tree is to get the cutting.
Correct.
To get the
Now,
cutting.
genetically, the true duplicate of this variety is going to be from a cutting, not from a seed.
Not from a seedling. Right.
This is another Newey variety, and you can see it's starting to take on the mottled look. It takes a lot of heat, but once it hits, it's really, really nice, really interesting. It's called Devil's Touch.
And this is half seedling too. That's
Yes,
seed pods
got
too.
another seed pod. I get lots of seed pods. Okay. This is another variety from Newey. It's called Orange Amity. Now all summer long it has just been bright orange, and here lately with the extra heat, that orange has turned red. And with the heat, when we get a lot of heat, the petals won't necessarily open all the way. They were doing it earlier and it was just absolutely gorgeous, but with this latest heat, they've kind of pulled in a little bit. So another one from Newey called Montblanc. Very, very good bloomer. Real interesting petal shape with the ruffled petals.
You have this in for sale
I will have again next spring.
next spring?
I'm sold out for now. This is one everybody is just going crazy over these days. It's called Pride of Newey. And this back here hiding is Passion of Newey.
I like that one. I like this one.
Oh yes.
And this one.
Oh yes. And this one is another variety from Jungle Jack that I'm really pleased with. It's called Palindrome.
They're big.
They are big.
Flowers so big.
The flowers are big.
Flowers so big. Flowers so big. Get me an order of this one next year.
See me in April.
See you in April?
In
Well, you
April.
got to put my name down first.
In April.
What about this white, Mike?
That is that's a variety that's pretty common in Thailand. It's called Lurleen Matsumoto, and it's actually, they call it a waterfall, because as this plant matures, these bloom stems they'll get up to 6-7 feet long, and
Oh,
the
and then
whole
they are-
bloom will just cascade down.
Oh, okay. That's very unique. Beautiful though. Very white, beautiful. I saw Hong Kong white,
Mm-hmm.
but their stem are so skinny and their flower is not very
Yeah.
attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's unique in the way the bloom stems grow once it matures.
So
you want to take a little break? There's been a lot of talk about the Mosaic Virus
Okay.
and almost a panic over that. So you want to talk about that now, or you want to talk about that later?
You can do it now. You
Okay.
can do it now.
Right back here, I have a tree that I got 4 years ago, And as you can see, it's a really nice shaped tree, got nice blooms on it, but everyone is just in a total panic over FRMV, or the Frangipani Mosaic Virus. This primarily comes from Thailand. The virus is transmitted sap to sap, and most times it's either where the plant is being cut or during the grafting process, because they don't properly sanitize their tools in between plants. But everybody, I say everybody, a lot of people, they see one distorted leaf, one ruffled leaf, one discolored leaf, and they panic and they say, oh, my plant's got the virus. We do not have a field test to prove the virus, so we're all using our best guesses based on the symptoms. But by basing it on the symptoms, if you go into the doctor with a fever, a runny nose, a sore throat, okay, do you have COVID? Do you have strep throat? Do you have a common cold? Do you have the flu? And so, like I say, regardless of what people say, we're giving it our best guess based on symptoms. But the primary symptoms, let me find a good splash. As you can see, this bloom has a lot of splash to it. Okay, that in itself does not mean it's virused. There are varieties, they get what they call heat splash. And so when the plant gets stressed, when it gets real hot, you will get this mottling in the plant, in the bloom. But one of the other symptoms is this red wine stain that goes through the leaf, and it goes all the way through to the back of the leaf. It's not strictly on the front. Also, the distorted petals. And if you look right here, the other sign, if you look at these leaf stems, you see that same red wine stain in those leaf stems. And so you look at all those together, and based on what I know, which is just what I read, what I see, all those things together tells me this plant is virused.
Can we just pick all those leaves and throw it away and to avoid the virus?
No.
No, you can't?
No, because the virus runs through the entire sap system.
Okay.
Okay, and once the plant gets the virus, there is no cure.
Oh, okay.
That's why it is extremely important that people thoroughly sanitize any cutting tools that they use, whether they're cutting leaves, they're taking cuttings, they're doing grafts, whatever. And what we're also finding out, talking to different plant virologists, simply using alcohol or bleach is not sufficient. Because the sap on a plumeria is latex, and latex, as it dries, it skims over.
So what do you use?
Dr. Kukiat, who is probably the foremost expert on it, he's from Thailand. He's one of the big three growers and hybridizers. He takes a little propane torch with him. As he cuts leaves or takes cuttings, he just heats up his blade with a propane torch. Other people will take disposable blades, the razor knives, and between each plant, they will set that blade aside, put a new blade in, and then they will come back and boil their blades, the virus. But
so they're using the old technique is boiling the knife. I mean, burning the knife.
Right.
But what, if we take off all the leaves and wait until next year, it's going to be the same way again?
It's the same way again because it's running throughout the
whole
plant system.
So what are you going to do? Just
The only reason I haven't destroyed this plant is for education purposes.
Oh, okay.
Someone who has heard about all the hysteria about the virus, but they've never seen it for sure.
But can you keep it just for fun?
You can, but remember, if sap from this plant gets into an open area where it can get into the circulatory system of this plant, chances are this plant is going to be virus.
We'll get it too. Okay. So how far do they have to be separate?
They can be right together. They can be right together.
What if the tree is over here and the other one is over there? Can you get it around?
No, it's not airborne. It is sap to sap contact.
Okay, so I have to be very close to the next tree to get it over.
Well, but even at that, as long as sap from this tree does not enter the circulatory system of sap from this tree.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah. And this area over here is where?
This is the for sale items.
Okay.
These are the for sale plants. And I still have a good selection left. It's been a good year. But I did order a very large order from Newey this year. I'll be ordering another very large order for next year.
Okay.
We talked about the Jungle Jack variety Mystique.
Yeah, we did.
This is one, a lot of people really love this plant simply because it's just a great bloomer. Shawnee is a seedling of JJ Valkyrie.
You don't have the 1 gallon?
I do not have any of the 1 gallon left over. This is called Santa's Gift. It's a great bloomer, big flowers, great color. You get the red edges that bleed into the white and the yellow, which makes it a very interesting variety. A lot of the orange and salmon tones. Sakurajima is another really good one. We've got Hazyberry Rose. Newey Sandy, the gentleman that was just here, had one of those. Got Red on Ice. Rosy Beach, which kind of has a pink lavender look to it. Queen of Penang, which is a Penang peach seedling. Picasso, I believe Rebecca Kamak just posted just a beautiful bloom of that in her yard in Sugarland.
Is that a purple?
It's pink.
Oh, it's pink?
But it gets purple
around the edges
as it ages. Purple Rainbow is a really big bloom. I'll have more of that next spring. It's also affordable. It's in the $50, $60 range. Pride of Newey we looked at. Perth Fire. Rebecca just posted one that was probably 4.5 inch bloom. Just a beautiful orange bloom. I will have more of that next year. Passac River. That's another one from Newey that's got a lot going on with it, with the veining, the red edges. Should be a really good one. Permino is an older variety from Thailand, but still a very unique color and a good bloomer. Purple Jade Dragon, also from Thailand. I will have more of that. Paparazzi is a fairly new one from Newey. Unique petal shape, has the red, pinkish red centers that radiate out. Ooh La La, I believe Joe Malinak in Alabama named that for Newey. And of course you've seen Orange Amity. You've seen Nefertiti. You've seen Montblanc. This is Message of Love. Mesmerizing. I'm waiting on this one to bloom here. I've got really high hopes for this one.
It's already have buds?
Does not have blooms yet. Medusa. Another real nice one from Newey. Love Bite. Really nice orange. Leela is originated in Hawaii, but has blooms up to 6 inches.
Wow, that's big.
That is big.
Very big.
Lamina Dragon, I believe that's what you have reserved.
Yes.
That's another one from from Thailand. It is not, I do not think that it originated from Newey, but it's a really good sought after variety. Kinnery is a newer Newey variety. This is one that is very popular with Newey. It's an older variety, but everyone still loves it. Everyone who doesn't have it still wants it, called Hazyberry.
Pretty. With the folded petals?
Yes. Carmaiden.
Many variety of flowers.
Yes.
You can sit here the whole day and look at these photos.
Jamaican Fire, another very popular variety over the last 5 or 6 years. Jackie is a jungle jack variety that I'm very, very happy with. Once she gets going, just a profuse bloomer all season long, and gets the Pagoda Petals, gets a lot of orange in the center when we get our heat. Inferno Red, we've looked at that out there. Impossible Dream is another Newey that's going to show a lot of orange, a lot of veining, a lot of good color. Hitchy is another Newey that may be the ultimate pagoda.
Yeah, they have the folded petals right here.
Yes. Hitchy's Flame, I actually like my blooms better than I do Newey's. Hazyberry is a real pretty purple. It's got a purple hue to it with lots of veining.
You go out there, see the one on sale now?
Hawaiian Fire is another Jim Little variety.
Fire.
This is my picture, and it had not gotten a really good color. This will really deepen up and color up. Golden Blush, a lot of color going on there. Gobi.
It's a white and orange red.
Yes, orange red. Get some dark to it.
Oh, look at this orange.
Golden Boy. I do have a couple of Golden Boys left in the 2-gallon size, and I think that's just going to be a tremendous variety for me. It's blooming out in the rows. We'll take a look at it in a while, but it's really coming on this year. Gina, I believe, is a jungle jack variety. It is probably one of the best reds in my opinion. It's a compact grower, great bloomer.
Does Gina come in any other color beside red? Because I saw
there
like
is a
yellow
Gina.
Okay.
That's a newer jungle jack variety. And I don't know if it was a Gina seedling or what it was. Of course, we've looked at George Brown. G-Pet is an old Thai variety that is really interesting. Firebomb, really good orange. I sold out of that early this year.
So it's the best time to catch all these new arrival is in April.
I'll get my shipment in late March.
Like March.
And then I'll acclimate them, pot them up, and I'll watch them for 2 to 3 weeks. Because when they get to me, they're bare rooted, there's no leaves, most of the roots have been broken off. So it takes about 2 months for those plants to acclimate so that I'm comfortable that they're going to grow and thrive. And so I really don't start allowing people to take plants until about the end of May.
The end of May.
But
okay.
The middle of April, I'll know, are there any that are they're just going to fold up and die right now.
Okay.
And that, if I got 2 or 3 weeks to assess that, at that point I'll start allowing reserves with a 50% deposit, and then I will contact the people or contact me around the end of May when they're ready to go.
So in the middle of April, we can contact you to see what's available at that time, and
Yes.
then make a reserve.
Yes.
Okay. And then pick up like around May or or me, July.
Yeah, yeah. As long as you pick them up, that's okay.
Okay. I just didn't have time to run down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I got
So
it.
let's go here and see what Mike have for sale right now. That's still around. A lot of them are got picked up already during
Yes.
May and June, but there's still some here.
Let's see. I have Airglow or Amata from Newey. Amata is 95.
Okay.
I have Alexandria. We looked at that bloom. I have one. He's a little sunburned, but so am I.
All of them have sunburn. It's so hot.
It's
these
called
days.
Black Cinnamon. Let's see.
It's been so hot this season, this year, so everything
It
is
has.
burning.
It has. Here's one called Airglow that's actually blooming. And that bloom will get a lot bigger and a lot more color.
How much is this?
Airglow, I'd have to go back and look.
Okay, this is the 1 gallon.
Ah. This is Colorful Storm. And it's $2.25.
Đó các bạn, đây là những cây sứ đặc biệt đó các bạn, là giá là 100 mấy 200 một nhánh như vậy đó. Nhưng mà người ta vẫn mua, người ta chơi đều đều, không ngại giá cả. Vì cái bông nó rất là đặc biệt, bông nó rất là đẹp.
Cloud of Hope. It's a newer one from Newey. It's also $2.25.
Đó, cái nhánh đó là 225 đồng một nhánh đó các bạn. Ở đây là những cây sứ đem về từ Thái Lan ha. Ông đem về, ông trồng cho nó ra rễ rồi ông mới bắt đầu bán.
Here's Elmo.
Elmo.
And Elmo is $1.40.
Mike,
Yes.
how come all of these are grafted?
Just about everything coming out of Thailand is grafted. There are two primary reasons to graft. Number one, there are varieties that either they will not root on their own, or if they do root, they'll never have a strong root system. George Brown is one of those, Musk Rainbow. The other one is commercial. And that's pretty much why the exporters do it, because if they're going to root a plant and ship it to the United States or Australia or wherever they're going to ship it, they're going to have to grow that plant for a year and a half in order for it to get a strong enough root system to carry it through, because the plants are out of dirt for 2 to 3 weeks minimum. Most of the roots are broken off. And so what they do, they graft to second-year seedlings that already have a strong root system, and they have a taproot. So it's a good basis to build from. But they graft, and as soon as that graft's healed, which is sometimes 4 to 6 weeks is all it takes, and they can be out the door.
So for commercial, why they graft to get the faster grow and the faster rooting to sell out.
Right.
See?
So
all of it's all
you know,
grafted.
in 6 weeks they can send those plants out the door rather than have to grow them for a year and a half, 2 years.
And this is called a V-shaped grafting?
Yes, that's a V shape. That's a V graft. The majority of the grafts you see from Thailand are going to be V grafts.
V-graft. I saw the way that Rebecca graft. It's better looking than the V-graft.
Well, Rebecca does here in the United States. We do a lot of slant grafts.
Yeah, slant graft. And the slant graft, they heal better.
You can see this is one Rebecca did for me.
The slant graft.
The
And then
slant
they start
graft-
having a root right here too, huh? Start having little
The little nubs, yeah.
nubs.
Yeah, I just need to where the rootstock is trying to bypass and grow out. So you just scrape that off.
You don't let it just naturally grow?
No.
No?
No, because it robs energy. If it's putting out new branches below the graft, it's robbing energy from
the bigger
graft.
one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And you don't want that.
Okay. I get it. Very, a lot of things to learn about these plumerias.
And we have a little more work to do. This is one of Rebecca's projects. It was 5 tips. 3 of the tips took, 2 of them did not. But she's coming back this weekend, and she's going to regraft these 2 tips. But these are all jungle jack varieties.
Oh, they're different kind.
5 different jungle jack varieties on one tree.
So we're going to have a lot of blooms, different blooms in one tree.
Correct. Correct. I don't normally root plants this late, but Tex Norwood of Florida Colors Nursery contacted me and said, "Hey, I've got a lot of cuttings. We're about to put them up. Are you interested in buying some?" And I said, "Sure, send me the list." And so he sent me the list, and so I bought about 100. And so these are all, they were previously calloused, ready to root, and so I have now potted them up and hope that they develop enough roots to carry them through winter.
So you're trying to rooting until next year's sale?
Correct.
Why don't you graft? Like you say, grafting is faster.
Grafting is faster, but these plants, this is low impact. It doesn't take seedlings.
Oh.
I don't have enough seedlings to graft 100 plants.
Oh, okay.
At
so
this point.
If you have seedling, you would graft, but these, because we don't have a lot of seedlings, you just kind of try to root them?
I probably wouldn't graft these anyway, simply because these are all classics, and they all root just fine.
Yeah, they take the
and
better.
And I'm not going to be shipping these across the country.
Okay, so it's just a local sale.
Right.
So then you can just root until next year and then just put it in the market,
because,
sell it out.
You know, everybody's not where they can spend $225 on one of these Neweys.
Right.
But they can spend $30, $35 on a really nice classic. And there, I mean, there's some good ones here. There's Cerrito Stripe, there's Dwarf Watermelon, there's San Miguel, Coca Wilder, Leona Hoke, Salmon Jack, India, Valley Whirl. There's some nice classic varieties there.
Right. Can I order this year and wait until next year? Can I order now, pick my plants today and wait until next year?
No.
Why not?
Well, simply because
it's not. You don't
I
know.
can't guarantee that it's going to make it, number one, through winter, and number two, my memory is not that good.
Well, you can put the tax on there, put my name, put the tax on there, wait until next year.
That's true. That's true.
So I can pick my tree today and put the tack on there, and then you wait until next year.
Or you can just wait till next year and see which one looks best.
The problem is I can't run down here all the time.
Okay, you ready to walk out in the rows?
Okay. Ngoài ra thì mấy Kennedy có một cái vườn cây ở ngoài này mà ông trồng ở dưới đất đó các bạn.
Out here I have about 800 feet of rows where I'm regrowing my mother trees. Just start here. This is a jungle jack variety called Sunsplash. And there is a pest. A little leaf eater. Another jungle jack variety, J105. Compact grower, great bloomer.
Compact grower, what do you mean by compact grower? There, the tree gets short, not too tall?
Yes, you see those 2 trees over there that are 10 feet tall? This one won't do that.
Oh, okay.
And that is one of the things about a lot of the jungle jacks. He does grow a lot more of the more compact, the lower growers.
Than
which
the big one.
A lot of people like because, you know, they're not 7 feet tall, number one, and their space is limited. It's another jungle jack, sorcery.
So when you go out there and buy plumeria from regular, like Houston Garden Center or something like that, or Buckingham, and when they say compact, that means they're short and small.
Yes.
So everybody can look through the tag and see
Yes.
which one you want.
And I think Jungle Jack now has a code based on tag color that'll tell you either it's a dwarf, it's compact, it's a medium grower, it's a tall grower, that sort of thing.
Oh,
Help
okay.
people
That's
along.
good help to know.
This is another Thai variety. I do not know who the hybridizer was, but it's called Lucky Purple.
It's pretty lavender purple colors. Beautiful. So these out here, what do you do with them during the winter time?
Everything out here and everything back there all goes in that greenhouse.
That greenhouse and
Yep.
turn on the heater.
And it will be heated.
Oh, so you take these three up every year, huh?
Yep. Malaysian Red.
Beautiful. Big bouquet.
Yes.
Very big bouquet. It's a lot of work. So what time of the year you bring these out back out here?
Around the end of March.
The end of March?
This is another older Thai variety called Black Tiger.
Pretty deep red
Yes.
with veins in it.
Yes.
Pretty. So you do this by yourself?
Yes.
Wow, just like me at home. With my plumerias, I dig it out and take it in and repots every year.
This is a classic Houston variety.
Lemon drop.
Lemon drop. Thornton lemon drop. Elizabeth Thornton was one of the original founders of the Plumeria Society of America and one of the first hybridizers in our area. And this is one of her signature varieties.
It's beautiful. I think everybody have this.
Yes, everybody needs a lemon drop. This is Jungle Jack's Jackie.
Jackie.
And she is very high on my list. She's a compact grower. She's been blooming since early May.
Are these also considered
Pagodas.
pagoda petals?
And she will take on the pagoda petal later in the season, like now.
What's her
when
name again?
Jackie.
Jackie.
She will take the pagoda petals and the strong
And this
color.
is JJ?
Yes. This is another JJ called Aladdin. As you can see, he also takes on the pagoda petals. This is my opinion, a very underrated jungle jack variety called Contessa. Now the only downside to Contessa is she puts out a lot of 4-petal blooms for some reason.
Oh. Instead of 5.
Instead of 5. You'll
this
have
is
5s, but you'll have a lot of 4s.
But you have a lot of 4 like this one.
Right.
Wow.
But it's a really good purple color and it's very affordable.
Do you know the reason why they came out with 4 petals instead of 5?
Something
No clue?
genetic. I don't know.
No. Chiang Mai Prince?
Chiang Mai Prince that's
That's a
here.
different one. This is
Contessa.
Contessa. Okay. Chiang Mai Prince is the purple one.
Yes.
Those are going to be expensive, huh?
Yes.
The Chiang Mai Prince?
Chiang Mai Prince is $300.
Wow. that's my whole bucket.
This is Newey's Gino. This variety is a Thai variety. It's called King's Gold. and the leaves are supposed to be this color.
Wow, it's pretty. It's a pretty color. Very
It's just
different. And the
yes.
flower is yellow too.
Yes. Here's one, kind of a sad bloom, but it's blooming.
Yeah, I like the leaves.
This is an old classic Hawaiian variety called Lurleen. And it is not a great bloomer. I've always had it rooted, but it's been suggested to me that some people have grafted them and they do great. And so it's all goes back to the quality of the rootstock. And so what I'm thinking is that Lurleen does not have a strong root system on her own.
But they're compact too?
I don't know for sure. I mean, I've had this one for several years, and you can see it hasn't grown a lot.
What about your watering system? I see you have your pretty cute...
It's called drip tape. And instead of the regular soaker hoses that only last a season, or the irrigation system where you punch the hole, you put the tube in, because these configuration changes every year of all the trees, I went to drip tape, and it's actually got built-in holes that allow it to water the plants, and so I don't have to worry about
water the plants.
Right.
You just turn on the knob, and they're just gonna drip and water for you, and you don't have to go every single one.
This one is very popular. It's called Raspberry Sundae.
Raspberry Sundae.
As you can see, they have a kind of a wonky growth habit.
Yeah. They're not straight. They just lean over and curve. And
oh yeah. This is called Sangwan Taptim, or Jungle Jack's Super Round.
Do you put fertilizer on them every time you take it out every season?
I fertilize early in the spring, and the rest of the time I'm using organics. This is a Newey variety. Called Great Love. And you can see another seed pod.
I see a lot of seed pods in this area. A lot. There's a small tree with like 4 seed pods.
I have a lot of sphinx moths out here, and I think that is what is responsible for the majority of the pollination.
I like the yellow one over there. I think it's on that side. The yellow. So pretty over there.
Which one?
It's all the way to the second row outside there.
Oh, okay. That may be another lemon drop.
Oh, it is? Look at this one. Oh, all the seed pods.
This one, it took me about 4 years, and Mark Wright from the Plumeria Society finally helped me identify it. It's called Sammy's Pink, and it was a variety that Rick Stone had before he died. But what we found out was, in all his travels, he would take cuttings in Asia, in different places, and he brought this back, and he named it after a friend of his that had a restaurant, whose name was Sammy Petronella. So it's named Sammy's Pink, and when this takes off, it will bloom on 4-inch tips. It's a very
currently have a lot of seed pods.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot for one tree. You see that?
For one little tree.
For
yeah.
one little tree, 1, 2, 3, 4,
6.
5, 6 seed pods. Wow. Do you blend those seed pods, Mike?
Yes.
You do?
This is one of the old classics that I really like, that I think gives Jamaican flower a run for its money. This is called Duke.
Similar to Jamaica fire,
Yes,
but they're less expensive.
a third the price.
A third the price. So how much does it run?
A single tip, 1 gallon will be $35.
I want one. I want one. Do you have one?
This is one from Newey that has just been a tremendous performer all year. It's called Arangon. I have 2 and they're both still blooming strong. And I'll have more of that next spring.
It's nice to go out here and see all the flowers, right? Hey, Mike, here's the yellow one over here. What's this?
Let's see who
It's so beautiful. It's so big and beautiful.
That is actually,
JS3.
that is one of my seedlings.
Oh, really? From...
That is a seedling of Jackie.
Oh, Jackie.
Yep.
I thought Jackie was pink. Was it?
Remember? No, Jackie was the Pagoda Petals one
Oh,
up
okay.
there.
Oh,
but
with
remember what we talked about genetics?
Yeah. They came out different. Well, I like that. I like that
too.
I like
I'm
that.
not a big yellow, but that one's beautiful.
I like yellow. Is that the only tree you have?
Yes. That came straight from a seed.
Oh, wow. I want a cutting.
This is another classic variety called Hurricane.
Hurricane. You see, that's the one I like. The yellow. Very rare. Oh, look at the seed pot. Oh my God, so big. Wow, look.
It's another Newey variety, Grenadina. It's a real nice purple. This is a seedling of mine from Mardi Gras. I named it Texana Belle. And those blooms are fairly old, but when it first opens, it's got a lot of orange.
So the seedling, you can name different one if they come out
Yes.
different colors?
Yeah, you can name a seedling anything you want to.
Oh, okay. You
They're
just have to register for your names?
That's what I was going to say. There are different requirements if you're going to register it. This is Newey's Red on Ice.
So if you grow seedlings, what is the process of naming your seedlings?
In general, a seedling is not going to settle on its configuration, its color, its size, the bloom shape, everything, until its third bloom cycle.
Okay.
And so you want to wait until that point, but there's no real process just to name one. Now there's a process to register with the Plumeria Society, and you can find that online on the Plumeria Society website.
Websites. I love to have this whole row of plumeria at home, but we are so limited of space.
This is Newey Shimmering. Really, really beautiful variety. And 1 gallons are well under $100, so it is affordable.
Everything Mike say is affordable.
No, I'm not saying things like Chiang Mai Prince are affordable for everyone. That's also shimmering. I mean, look at
the big bouquet.
Yeah, look at the size of the inflow.
Big bouquet here. Yeah.
It's so big, it's weighing it down.
Yes. So all these plumeria are affordable for everybody, depending on what are you looking for.
There you go.
Yes.
How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it? How addictive you are. You spend from 35 to 200 to 300, depending on how you're addicted.
This is called Palermo. It's another variety from Thailand. I got it from Anucha here in Cedar Lac.
Yes. Have you been out here?
That is an old Hawaiian variety called Lani Beauty.
Lani Beauty. How many trees you have at your home?
Me?
Yeah. Hundreds?
About 80.
80s?
This one's about finished, but that is another Thai variety called Gamam.
And all yours buy for Mike? Wow. So they're all specialties.
Now there's your seed pod.
Seed pods. Oh, they're big. Wow. You're gonna have thousands of little seedling for all these seed pods that you're gonna have.
And last but not least, Santa Red. Mark and Sharon Wright gave me that plant, and it is just a tremendous bloomer.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's blooming on all 5 tips.
Yes. And they're compact trees.
Yes.
Yeah, they're beautiful. So yeah, that's it, everybody. This is Mike Kennedy Plumeria garden in Dickinson. In Dickinson. Last word.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Thank you, everybody, for being with me and Mike today in Gulf Coast Plumerias. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.